Alright, so I'm going to be showing how to replace the battery on this iPhone 7 Plus. Alright, so first thing you want to do, of course, is to turn it off. Just press and hold the power button and then swipe to power it off. Alright, next we're going to go ahead and remove any cases that are on the phone. Okay, now that we got the case off, we're going to go ahead and remove this piece. So we got to remove the two screws on the bottom. The two screws are those Penelope 0.8 or P2 screws. Okay, so let's go ahead and remove the two screws here. Alright, you want to keep all the screws in order because they are different size, shape, and lengths. If you mix them up, you can cause damage to your phone. Alright, so once we've removed both of those screws, we're going to go ahead and get this glass out. Okay, we're going to use this tool here. We're just going to get underneath. You can also use a suction cup, but I feel this works better. Alright, so we're going to get between the plastic frame edge of the glass and then the metal body here. Alright, and we're just going to go around. You don't want to insert the tool too far. Okay, and we're just going to go all the way around and get underneath the adhesive here. So just like this. Okay, just like that. And we're going to go around this way. Do the same thing. Okay, going around the edge. Alright, and then just continuing up the side, just like that. Okay, now we're going to go around and then we're going to kind of twist this a little to pop it open, but you want to be careful not to open it too much because there are the cables here along this side. Okay, so you want to be careful. Alright, okay, once you get it up enough, you can lift it open. Alright, here you can see the cables here that are attached. Let's go ahead and peel this adhesive out. Alright, so we're going to have to get rid of all the old adhesive. So again, you want to be careful not to open it too far because you don't want to break the cable in there. Alright, then we're going to work on the top. If you can get the tool underneath there, then you can go ahead and do that. Okay, we're going to go underneath. And basically what we're doing is we're trying to slide the screen down this way, okay? Because as you slide it down, all right, it will actually unhook because there are hooks that go under there, okay? So it's actually harder to get the tool underneath there. Basically what we're doing is we're sliding this glass downwards, okay? And then once you slide it far enough down, you can actually open it up like a book. But again, you want to be careful not to rip those cables out. So here you can see we slid this down and then we're slowly opening this up. Okay, so here you can see the little L brackets. All right, so here you can see the plastic, how it hooks underneath. Then we're going to go ahead and swing this over. All right. This side, if you can, release the adhesive. I'm getting my fingernail under to kind of lift that out. And there we go. Okay, so we're going to be removing all this adhesive. It looks like there was a loose screw in here, so I need to find out where that came from. All right. Oh, I see. It came from here, so I don't know how that screw came out. There's two ways you can do this. You can actually do this while keeping it open if you have a way to keep this like that so that it doesn't completely just fall apart by itself because you don't want it to tear these cables. The way I do that is I have this phone stand and I can kind of just use that, adjust it to however much I want. All right, and again, you don't want to open it too far, and here you can see it kind of just holds itself open perfectly. All right, so this one screw came out is a Y000. I'm going to put that back, so I'm going to switch to a Y000 or Tri-Wing 0.6, okay, whatever fits. You want to find which screwdriver fits the best without wobbling too much. Okay, and let's see if that, hopefully it will go back in. All right, there we go. Make sure the screws are tightened in place. Okay, and if there's any rough like adhesive residue around the edges, you do want to get that out because you don't want it to form like rough lumps that will pry up the screen. All right, because if there's lumps under there and it creates uneven pressure, it can actually damage the phone. So we're just going to get all of that out. Okay. Kind of just want to even it out. Alright, so that adhesive's okay. Do have to get out this little bottom edge corner here. Okay. Alright, let me actually zoom out a bit so you guys can see the whole thing. Alright, I'm just checking if there's any weird lumps here. Let's actually get this adhesive out because it's all lumpy. Okay. So any lumpy adhesive, you kind of just want to remove it if you can. Alright. Let's close this and look at the other side. Alright, it's kind of lumpy on this, so we're going to have to get that out. Alright. Okay, I think we should be good as far as those lumpy stuff is concerned. Alright, so we'll leave this open. Next, we're going to go ahead and remove this using the same tri-wing screwdriver. Okay. Oops. Switched over to flathead. Let me switch back to the tri-wing. Alright, and we're going to remove all these screws. Again, keep them all in order because they are different size, shape, and lengths. Alright. I need to do this quick because my phone battery is dying. Okay. Alright, once you get all those 4 screws out, again, you want to keep all these screws in order. Okay, then we're going to lift this metal plate out of the way. Okay. If it's stuck, you kind of can twist it a little, and that helps loosen the old adhesive, or it's not really an adhesive, it's a foam pad that's kind of gets stuck on there. Okay, and there you go, we got that out. Alright, so next thing, we're going to just disconnect the battery. Alright, so just like this. Again, if you want, you can take the screen completely out, but we're just going to be removing the battery here. Okay, and as long as you don't open the screen too far, you should be okay. Alright, so there we go. Let's go ahead now and remove the Taptic engine. So we're going to switch over to a Y double or 000, depending what set you have. You might have to use different screwdrivers. Let me actually try my Y. Actually, my PH0 or JS0 actually works. If your PH0 or JS0 is too small or too big, sorry, then you can actually switch to a PH00 or 000, whichever fits best without stripping the screws. All right. So you want to make sure you get a nice solid fit with the screwdriver. All right, and there we go. Okay, now that we got those 3 screws out, you can see we can kind of roll this thing back a little. You want to be careful because there's a cable down there. Okay, so we're going to pull that back like that, and then we're going to be removing the adhesive here. So this can be a little bit tough. You want to take your time here. Okay, the way you do this is there's 3 strips here. Let me actually zoom in a bit so you can see that better. Okay, and as long as these don't tear, we should be okay, and this repair shouldn't be too bad. Alright, so what you're going to do is you pull this adhesive. So these are stretch release adhesives. So as the adhesive stretches, it loses its adhesion. And the way you want to do it, you want to pull it straight back, okay? And you want to go slowly with these because this adhesive is very thin. So you don't want to try and pull too quick or it will tear. And again, you want to pull straight back. This Taptic engine is in the way, so what I have to do is while I'm pulling it back, I have to actually use my other finger to kind of keep it flat. So as I pull, it keeps it as low as possible. Just be careful with the Taptic engine, alright? Because you don't want to accidentally hit that and tear the cable. Alright, so I'm just pulling this. I don't know if you can see, but basically I'm just pulling this and trying to use my other finger to keep it flat. Okay, and just continue pulling, and eventually it will. So I like to go closer and closer and wrap it around my hand, so that way I get better a better grip. And there we go. We got one out and there's 2 more to go. All right, so let's go ahead and get the other 2. So we're just going to continue doing that. So same thing, just go ahead and peel that slowly. Okay, slowly, carefully. And again, we're going to try and keep that flat by using our finger. You can't pull it straight up, you have to pull it back, and you want to keep it flat. Okay, so again, that's why I keep my finger there, holding it down while I pull with my other hand. Okay, just like this. All right, and we're just going to keep pulling, then wrap it around your hand so you can get closer up, and then continue pulling. And there we go. All right, we got one more. So far so good. All right. If any of these tear, it's going to be a nightmare to remove. So keep in mind, you want to go slow. Okay, you don't want to try and rush this, because if it tears, it's going to be a nightmare to remove. You do have to like end up prying underneath the battery, and yeah, it's a lot bit more risky. Okay, so we're going to continue pulling this. Okay, and continue pulling. Okay, just keep going, keep going. All right, and there we go. Okay, so we got all 3 strips out, and the battery should come out very easily. Let me actually zoom out again and show you this. Okay, so we should be able to now lift this out. There we go. Battery looks good. Okay, customer said that the battery was like at 100%, and then after half an hour it's like down to 30. So that's why we're replacing the battery. And also the battery we're replacing it with, assuming these specs are legitimate and not made up. This is a 4600 milliamp hour battery. All right, compared to the original, let's see if it tells you here. This is only 2900 milliamp hours, so I don't know how true that is, because it would be crazy that they can fit that much more power. All right, anyways, let's go ahead and get this battery ready. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna flip this Taptic engine back over and get those screws back in. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and get the screws back in here. All right, make sure the screws are nice and tight. Okay, last one. All right, so now we got all the screws tightened in. I'm gonna now switch over to the battery. We're gonna get the adhesive strips on it. You don't really need all 3. This thing only comes with 2. So yeah, all right. So what we're gonna do to get this off, we're gonna flip this blue piece backwards. Okay, so roll this back, and you wanna kind of roll this off while putting pressure on top. This will kind of keep the adhesive down and will prevent bubbles from forming on underneath. Okay, so I'm gonna hold this layer up, and I'm gonna just keep rolling this back. When you get near the end, you wanna be careful. We're gonna go at an angle like this, okay, diagonal, and pull it off, all right? Okay, so this is gonna go over the top of the battery. So what you want to make sure to get the bottom lined up like this. Okay, so basically it's gonna go on the top like that, and this is gonna roll over this way. So if you want, you can kind of do this to get it lined up the way you want, and then you can roll it back over this way. Okay, just like this. All right, and then stick it down. Doesn't have to be perfect, but there we go. Okay, now that we got that in place, we can go ahead and peel these blue tabs off here. Okay. Let's peel that off just like that. All right, and then we'll use the pink one to kind of just help pull this completely flat and stick those 2 tabs down. Good, perfect. All right, now we're gonna flip this back over and we're gonna do the same with this side. We're gonna grab the pink tab and we're gonna roll it while we're kind of pushing this down. Okay, and there we go. Okay, I probably should have test fit the battery first, because now we're gonna have to worry about bending this wire. So we're gonna bend this wire first back here. Hopefully you can see. All right, and then this kind of bends over this way, and then it kind of like pinches itself together here. Okay, so we're gonna kind of pinch that all together properly. Okay, again, usually I did it in the wrong order. Usually I would leave this, I would test the battery without the adhesive first, but we'll do it this way. Okay, so now what you're gonna do, get the battery connector in, line it up, push that into place. Okay, battery connector in. Okay, make sure the battery connector is into place. Then you can kind of push this side all the way in to kind of help bend the wire or the cable. Okay, so push that all the way in that way. And then while you're pushing that in, you can go ahead and let the other side drop down. And there you go. It should be all stuck into place. Good. All right, now you can go ahead and flop this down, and let's go ahead and power it up and make sure it's working. Okay, and it looks like it's good. So now that everything's working, we can go ahead and put the metal plate back on top of here. Okay, so we'll get this metal plate, put that back on. Again, we're going to use the Y000 or Tri-Wing 0.6. All right, and we're going to get this screw up here in. Okay, can be a little tricky. We are going to have to loosely fit the screws so that we can fit them right. Let me actually zoom in better here. Okay, so we're going to get that lined up. All right, I like to twist it backwards to feel it click to see if it's going in. For some reason, it's not lining up right. I don't know why. There we go. Okay, then we'll loosely fit it. You can see now it's holding itself in place. We only turned it like a couple times. Right, then we'll get the screw down here. Same thing, make sure it clicks into place. Good. All right, this one. Good. We can go ahead now and tighten it since we have 3 of them. All right, make sure all these screws are tightened into place. Good. Okay, last one. All right, tighten that down. Okay, we got all the screws back in. So now to put this back on, let's make sure it's on. Okay, good. All right, so what you want to do, you want to get the top in. So what you do, let me zoom out here. What you do is you tip the back up like this slightly, okay? And you want to slide the top edge in. All right, once you get the top edge in, while you're kind of holding the middle up, you're going to go ahead and push the bottom side in. All right, so make sure the tops and bottoms are in, and you'll see it's bowed out in the center. That's what you want. Right, now that you got that, you can go ahead and push the center in, and you should be good. We just now have to get back in the last 2 screws. So let's go ahead and do that, and we should be good to go. All right, let's go ahead and get in the Pentalobe 0.8 or P2 screws. And that's all there is to it. Hopefully this video helped you guys out. If it did, make sure to like, subscribe, share my channel with others so that they can learn how to upgrade and repair their devices as well. If it helped you save a bunch of money, please consider contributing a little to the channel. Every little bit helps and allows me to continue making these videos for a living. Other than that, that's all there is to it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye. Let's drop this.